And that's what it's all about. Like, this is why we did the podcast, right? To help more people, to make fitness for everybody, to build a fucking strong community. And that's really what we're most proud of, I would have to say, is the community that we've built. And also like this little hiking community that we're building. Welcome to Cut the Crap with Beth and Matt, the world's #1 no bullshit health and fitness podcast.
Are you ready to cut the crap with your diet and exercise, get strong as fuck, and build a healthy relationship with food? Then you've come to the right place.
Show your support for the podcast by joining our Patreon community, where you get exclusive content which consists of monthly workouts you can do at home or at the gym, monthly challenges that are either strength, habit, or mindset based, and access to hundreds of lower calorie, higher protein, family-friendly recipes.
And now all Patreon members receive exclusive access to a private Facebook group. Now let's cut the crap.
All right, Beth, Nerdle, we are back.
What's up?
Not much. And we are back from the Cut and Crap meet and greet, freshly back.
Yes, freshly.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Freshly back. What the fuck does that even mean?
That was a fantastic meet and greet. Thanks for everyone that came. There's about 13 of us total, I believe.
Yeah, including you and I. There was 13 people. Loved the turnout. I loved the fucking energy of everybody that came to the meet and greet. What did we end up doing? Like a little over 4 miles, I think.
Yeah, a little over 4 miles. Me and you did that day we did like 8.5 total.
Yeah, that day we did 8.5. So for anybody that's listening, we after the Cut the Crap meet and greet, Beth and I went off in the woods by ourselves
to the forest.
To the forest.
Influencers in the wild.
Which I was on a coaching consultation the other day, and the lady was just like, "Oh my God, influencers in the wild." Let me just tell you, she's like, "I love it." And I gotta say, like, Sunday morning, I woke up and I opened up Instagram, and there's Beth screaming in my face, "If you're not lunging, you're fucking dead to me." And I'm like, yes. I'm like, we had such a good time doing that.
Yeah, I have the others. I'm not going to say the names because I'm going to be releasing them soon. But one of them I'm going to do on Sunday because it's a Sunday one, and you know which one that is.
I do.
Okay.
I was just thinking, I was like, we still have a few videos. Yeah.
Oh, we do. It's just, I have to edit we have a lot of recipe videos that I need to edit. So I haven't done that because, editing.
Yeah, editing. That's a big one. Before we get any further in this, I definitely want to talk about the meet and greet a little bit further. But first things first, Beth, this is episode fucking 100.
100.
We have been talking shit for 100 episodes now, and it's fucking crazy to me.
Right?
Where has time gone?
Right here.
Right here, baby. And at the same time, we're also coming up on our 2-year anniversary here later in the month. I believe August 20th or August 21st. So yeah, very fucking cool. I want to talk about that too, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But I want to get back to the meet and greet too. What was your takeaway from the meet and greet, or like a highlighting spotlight moment for you?
I think the people that just showed up, even if they were scared.
Oh yeah, and there was a lot of women that were scared, huh?
Yeah. So some of them, were having second thoughts of, if they could do the hike or not, just whether they should come. If they're going to be falling behind, things like that. And I'm glad they are glad they did, because they can do hard things. So stepping out of your comfort zone, like, we know it's not easy, but once you do that, it's just opens the doors for you to do so many other things.
Yeah, you do one hard thing, and then that hard thing is you did it. Now you realize I can do hard things, and you start doing more hard things, and then you start feeling good and getting great results, and the rest is fucking history. And it was also harder because the weather was not the greatest for us, right? Like,
it was misty.
It was misty, some rain a little bit. And then when we get to the payload, the summit of the hike we were doing, which with the amazing view, there was no view because it's just fog and clouds everywhere. So, but we made the most of it. And it was a really good time. I had a lot of fun actually at the top of the Bald Rock, just chatting with everybody and goofing off. And it was just a good time all around. It
was awesome.
One shout out to Esther for coming up and meeting with us. Esther Avant. So she was on our podcast a few episodes back. So it was awesome to meet her and her son. She brought her son, guys, and this was incredible.
He was like 4 years old. Did the whole thing.
And this is what we're saying. Like, we want this stuff to be family friendly. We want to help you as parents and role models, grandparents, even set a good example for your kids and get them out and help them fucking fall in love with nature. I wish I would have fallen in love with nature when I was a kid, like I have as an adult, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't have these things modeled for me, you know. So
yeah.
I would say my biggest takeaway is probably just the attitude that everybody had. Like nobody even once talked about quitting. Like it wasn't even an option for anybody. And everybody just went at their own pace. And even the people that weren't at the top of the front of the pack, they were still keeping up with everybody, just going at their own pace and making, you know, one step at a time is just really how they went up that mountain, especially on those slippery spots because of the rain and everything. Yeah. And one fucking step at a time. So
that's right.
So that was really cool. So thank you everybody for coming out to the Cut the Crap meet and greet in Maine. We are going to be doing another one. Do we want to say which one? Do we want to announce that yet? Have we locked that in?
I think so.
Okay. We don't have dates or anything yet. So
yeah, we don't have dates, but I believe I'm coming to Ohio and we're going to be doing Hocking Hills. Is that what it's called?
That is right. So we're looking at probably like the beginning of October. We're going to do this, especially before the weather starts turning. But that time of year in Hocking Hills, so that's like Southeast Ohio down in, you know, the Appalachian footholds. So there's been a lot of people saying, hey, like, because I have a big following, of course, in my area, right, in Ohio. They're like, you go to Hocking Hills and I'll be there. When you go to Hocking Hills? And I'm like, fuck yeah, we'll go to Hocking Hills because that's one of the best places to hike in Ohio. So there's beautiful waterfalls there. There's even boardwalks there for hiking. Like it's super accessible.
Nice.
So I want to see everybody in that area show the fuck up for that. I would love to see everybody come
hear us.
Show up.
If you've mentioned it, show the fuck up.
Yeah.
Okay.
or else. And
or
too about with the Hocking Hills, that's that region, that area. It's like there's so many states in the area too. They've got Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia, all within a few hour drive of right there too. So
okay,
yeah,
so it could be accessible for many.
It is, yep, for sure. So Hocking Hills, beginning of October. Stay tuned for details, but we're definitely going to be doing it.
Okay, nice.
Now, let's talk about 100 episodes because. I don't know what the statistics are, but most people doing a podcast stop after a couple of episodes. So we're probably in like 1% company, honestly, with us being able to make it to 100 fucking episodes, which is insane. It hasn't been easy, I guess, sometimes to do the podcast, right? To be consistent with the podcast. It's always been, we love doing the podcast, but sometimes we're like literally Thursday night when I was in Maine with you, I was editing the podcast to be released a few hours later, Friday morning, you know? So, but we always we always find a way to make it happen because this is important to us. We love doing this.
Right.
And we understand that the consistency is really what matters here. And we wouldn't have been able to make it to 100 episodes and to have, 35,000 or however many downloads a month that we have without being consistent. And I went, and really this applies then to your health and fitness, health and wellness journey too, whether you're building muscle, losing fat, whatever it is, consistency. I don't care if you don't know what you're doing, because guess what? Beth and I don't know what we're fucking doing most of the time, right, Beth?
Still, I mean, we've interviewed how many people now? At least, I guess it would be close to 100, not 100, but close.
Yeah, probably 75. We've probably done maybe 25 one-on-one episodes. We did a lot more at the beginning of the show. So
and every time before we have a guest, we're like, oh shit, we get nervous.
Yeah.
I know I do. I know, like
we're always having to pump each other, hype each other up and talk each other down.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, it's not easy, but we love it and we do it. We step out of our comfort zone a lot doing this podcast, actually.
For sure.
I gotta say, this is probably the most out of comfort zone thing I've done.
Yeah, interviewing world leaders and not world leaders, but world renowned.
Fucking Gandhi and shit.
Let's get Gandhi on the podcast. You're not doing anything these days.
But people we look up to in the
industry leaders. Thank you. Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I still remember recording episode number 1. I think we were talking about, maybe episode 2 is when we were talking about Alaska after my trip. But yeah, it's just really cool. Talking about the one-on-one episodes too, that's something that we've talked about, is wanting to do more of those. We love doing the guest episodes too, but we just love shooting the shit here with each other too. Yeah. So we're gonna do more of those as well. Yeah. So stay tuned for that.
I like Instagram Q&A ones. We haven't done those in a while too.
Yeah, it has been a while. Well, I mean, we kind of did one with the menopause diet plan, ladies, but
I guess so.
A general, we should definitely do one of those. And those episodes always do really well because, I mean, the amount of fucking help and value we're giving people there.
Right.
So cool. And then we're coming up on the 2-year anniversary here, which is going to be Incredible. And so
We
we're
got
celebrating all month.
Yeah, we are celebrating. So do you want to kind of like let people know like what we're doing to celebrate?
Yeah. So we are doing a couple of cool things to celebrate. First and foremost, let's see, which one do I want to say first? Okay. Patreon promotion. We are doing a Patreon promotion for the month of August. We are running the highest discount that we're allowed to give, that Patreon will allow us to give. We're giving a 16% discount for the month of August for anybody that signs up for a year-long membership. You'll get a 16% discount. So you're essentially getting a month free at the end of the day when the discount is applied. So that's going to be including, that's going to be for either the workouts that you can subscribe to or the recipes or both. So for the workouts, then of course, this being the beginning of August, we just released those new ones, and you're doing the 5K a day challenge for everybody there. And these are workouts that we're creating for everybody for $5 a month that you can do at home or at the gym. And then there's a $10 a month option. And Beth, what does the $10 a month option include?
You get everything Matt just said, workouts and challenges, and you get access to a recipe portal that has over 100 low calorie, high protein recipes that are family friendly. Everything is from Chef Richard. Which you see in our videos once in a while, but he is the chef that writes the recipes for Now We're Cooking. So we actually did a podcast with him.
Yeah. He's lost 300 pounds? Jesus.
Yeah. Over 300 pounds.
Yeah. Incredible. That's a good shout out there. Everybody, I don't know what episode number that is, but that we'll put it in the notes. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what episode that is either.
Now, on that note, too, with the promotion that we are running, we have an exciting new announcement to make for our Patreon members. And for anybody that is listening that would like to join, we have created a private Facebook group exclusively for our Patreon members. So now you're going to be getting even more value with this already insane offer that we have with our Patreon, with the private Facebook group that's attached. We've already got about a little over 100 people in there because we let our existing Patreon members join before we opened it up to everybody. So if you're listening to this episode now, that is live. The Facebook group is live. You must be a member of the Patreon to get access. Okay. Yeah. We're doing this because we want this to be the Cut the Crap community. And we understand not everybody can subscribe to the Patreon. In that situation, Beth and I both have our free Facebook groups and everything like that. But the Facebook group is going to be just another way that people can build out the community and support system. We'll be talking about our hikes in there, getting ideas from people in there for maybe episodes or for future hike destinations. Yeah. Just posting funny things. Like Amy's already been in there posting a couple of funny things, Right. And then we'll announce new episodes and things like that. And who knows, we might run specials, offers in there from time to time. We've talked about doing exclusive Q&A in the Facebook group for our Patreon members as well. And if you join the Patreon, you don't have to stay in the Patreon to get access to the Facebook group. Once you've been in the Patreon and you join the group, you're in there to stay unless you do something to break the rules and we kick you out, which it's really hard to do that. Just don't be an asshole or sell MLM products. Right.
Yeah. Yep. Or shame people for what they're eating.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that means being an asshole, right? So do you want to talk about that really quickly? Do you want to have a little vent sesh about that?
About shaming people for what they're eating? Like, this is so fucking common and it drives me nuts. And I'm like on this mind your own plate fucking like revolution here, because it doesn't matter where you go. We're not talking about really online, although, people do comment about food online, but I'm really talking about people in person. So I hear this all the time, and it especially happens at work, at parties, things like that. Someone may be having a banana and someone walks in the break room and they're like, why are you eating that banana? Do you know how it has too much sugar? Shut the fuck up. Like, just shut the fuck up. Mind your own plate. It doesn't matter what the fuck someone else is eating. Like, what do you care what someone else is eating? It's none of your business. We just need to mind our own fucking business when it comes to that. Like, or do you know, like, you have way too much food on your plate? Do you think you should be getting seconds? Shut the fuck up. Just mind your own plate. Yeah. Like, everyone is different. We all have different needs, nutritional experiences, etc. I think people just need to mind their own business when it comes to food, because no one cares what you have to think. You don't need to make someone feel guilty or bad for whatever they chose to eat.
Yeah, I'm going to take this a step further. I agree with everything you said, but I want to talk about people talking about other people's bodies too.
That too. That correlates. Yeah.
It definitely correlates. If you're talking about people's food, there's probably a good chance you talk about their bodies too. So it's not acceptable to talk about other people's bodies too. And I want, especially like Beth received some troll comments about your own body, and which is really fucking just incredibly ignorant first and foremost. And then, of course, I've received some comments, not negative comments, but like people just noticing that I've lost weight and things like that. And it makes me very uncomfortable when people compliment my appearance and my body. I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I know some people thrive for that. They're seeking that validation, but I don't want it or need it. And I think I think a lot of people would probably agree that they don't like people commenting on their body, whether it's positive or negative.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would agree for sure. And I also want to take another step that sometimes, and I know this happens because I hear it from clients when I was coaching, is that you're seeking validation actually for your weight loss. Like, I'm working so hard. I just don't understand why no one notices. Or
you're not doing it for anybody else.
Why hasn't anyone said anything to me? Well, why do they need to? Why do you feel the need for someone to say something about your changing body? You should be proud of yourself, and who gives a fuck what anyone else thinks, because you're not doing this for them. You're doing this for you. So stop seeking validation from others as well for your body changes. Because maybe they don't want to say anything because they don't have to. I mean, maybe you're losing weight for the wrong reasons, or maybe you're sick and you're losing weight. No one needs to be like, oh, you look like, you've lost some weight. Like, it's a good thing. Like, you weren't better before or fine. You just need to shut the fuck up about it.
Shut the fuck up about it.
You know what I'm
Flat
saying?
Out. Yes.
Okay. Like,
this is not one we're going to be nice about.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Keep it to your fucking self. I honestly think it goes back to kindergarten, really. What is it? Treat others the way you would want to be treated, essentially. Like we've definitely lost touch of that.
Yeah. If you want to say you look beautiful in that dress, great. But we're talking about body, like parts and like, shit like that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. My sister, she didn't mean this in a bad way, but this is a great example of this. Okay. Just a couple of weeks ago, I walked into my parents' house one day. I don't remember what I was doing. Just walked in and my sister was there, and she looked at me. She said, holy crap, Matt. She's like, you're big. Like, you're getting big. And she's like, is Fat Matt coming back or something? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, Fat Matt? No, like, not at all. I'm like, so I asked her, and she's like, no, it's not a bad thing. She's like, you're looking very muscular and buff. I was like, okay, well, the way you said that, it made me sound like, I'm putting on weight and getting fat. I'm like, I'm getting more defined because I've been losing weight. So I probably look bigger as a result of that, because now my muscle definition is just showing a little bit more. But that definitely, those are the type of comments, and those type of comments usually come from those closest to us, family members and closest friends. Yeah. And you might say that yourself, say something like that yourself, but you don't know how the other person is going to interpret it. And you don't know what that person has been going through either. Yeah. They could have been going through a really fucking rough time. And if you say something insensitive like that, that could really set them down a downward spiral. That's
the thing. A lot of people have body image issues. I struggled with body dysmorphia my entire fucking life. Always striving to be thinner, size 0. I always thought I was big, so you just never know what someone has gone through or still deals with. So shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
There's been, speaking about shutting the fuck up, there's been a resurgence in the fruit hate recently, it seems like. I feel like that happens like every fucking 6 months. Yeah, it really does. It's like fucking clockwork. Because I know you've been making more videos about it. I've been making more videos about it. Just responding to fucking comments about sugar in the fruit. Like, people are like, yeah, it's low calorie, but it's loaded in sugar. Like, do you realize what you're saying? You're like, it's low calorie, but it's loaded in sugar.
Do you
like,
have a grasp on nutrition education 101? Yeah. I mean,
let's talk about sugar and fruit really quickly. I think.
Shit.
Guys, first and foremost, sugar is not inherently bad, okay? It's not. The amount of sugar that we're eating can be harmful if it's in excess. And that's what we always say. Too much of anything, even the best fucking thing in the world, can be harmful to you, okay? Yeah. And here's the thing about sugar and fruit is, if you're only looking at fruit as being full of sugar, you are missing the bigger picture. The bigger picture being, 90 to 95% of Americans aren't eating enough fiber. And if we're not eating enough fiber, that can lead to metabolic syndrome and higher blood pressure, higher cholesterol, digestive issues, to name a few. And not only that, but we know people that eat more fiber are more successful with weight loss maintenance and maintaining a healthy weight. Fiber is very fucking crucial to that.
When the world feels crazy and chaotic, remember that you don't have to. You deserve to take control of your mental and physical health. Cured Nutrition is trying to make it easier for you to do just that. Formulated with their trinity of ingredients, a blend of full spectrum cannabinoids, functional mushrooms, and adaptogens, Serenity Gummies are your answer to finding the calm in every storm. Cured wants you to feel good about feeling good. So they took their time formulating their Serenity Gummies. They left out the artificial flavors, sugars, and dyes and replaced them with ingredients that actually live up to their clean label, wellnessy word. I've recently started taking Serenity Gummies at night for my nighttime routine to help me get settled after a long, stressful day, and they've been really easing me into a great nighttime sleep. Right now, Cure is extending an exclusive offer to you, our listeners. You can grab a bag of Serenity Gummies for 20% off by visiting www.curednutrition.com/CTC and using the coupon code CTC at checkout. That's CURED nutrition.com/CTC and coupon code CTC at checkout to save 20%. Protect your peace and pop a gummy.
Eat the fucking fruit. The sugar in the fruit is non-consequential. If you're diabetic, we hear this a lot. Talk to your fucking doctor or registered dietitian to see what amounts and when you can eat them. Don't come at us in our comments. Pair your
fruit with a protein.
Pair your fruit with a fruitine. Yeah, protein.
Protein.
Fro. But also, fruit is also a great source of other micronutrients, which we are not getting enough of as well. So we are not going to demonize fruit because it's just ignorant. It's just ignorant.
It really is.
We are not getting enough fiber in our fucking diet, period.
It's crazy to me that this still is something that is happening. I mean, it's been so long now. I have on my merch store that I haven't used in fucking like a year or two. Eat the fucking fruit.
I've got that sweatshirt. I have it.
Exactly. It's still, people are like, you need to make merch. I'm like, it's already there. Like, it's been there since fucking 2020. That's how long I've been dealing with this fucking fruit shit. It's crazy.
And when we're talking about sugar too, people are like, then they'll start talking about, oh, it's added sugar, it's fake sugar, it's man-made sugar. Guess what? No, it's all the thing. It's all the fucking same.
Your body cannot tell the difference, by the way.
It does not. It doesn't fucking care. Because why? Because there is no difference. Chemically speaking, added sugar, naturally occurring sugar found in fruit, no fucking difference. None.
But guess what's the difference in fruit? The fiber. And what does fiber do when you're eating sugar, Beth? Slows your digestion.
It slows the digestion and the blood sugar spike. Oh my God. Like, it's a miracle how fiber works.
God.
It's a fucking miracle.
Oh my God. So, yeah.
So eat the fucking fruit, eat the fucking fiber, eat your protein. And we're just going to change our podcast to eat your protein and eat your fiber.
Right.
That's the surprise for our 100th episode.
Yeah.
We have a little special segment that we want to also do. Are you ready for this, Beth?
Sure.
So we thought, why not? What better way to celebrate our 100th episode than to talk about some of our favorite episodes that we've done? So we each independently came up with our top 5 episodes, no idea what the other person wrote. And we're going to start revealing them. And then we're going to talk a little bit about why that was one of our favorite episodes. Beth, I'm going to let you have the honors on this one. What would be, and this doesn't need to be in any particular order. Mine, I didn't write them down in any particular order. These are just the ones that, when I was thinking about it, kind of stood out to me. What about yours? Are they in any order?
No, I just have 1 through, I guess, 6.
Okay. We have a bonus.
My number 1, and I don't know, this could be because it was just recent, but Adam Bornstein really struck a chord with me. Just because he's really everything that he emulates everything that we're about. His book, everything. I don't know. I loved it.
It's in the title. You can't screw this up. It is so hard to screw up a health and wellness journey. It really is. You literally just have to not try and quit.
Right. Exactly.
Honestly, that's really the only way you can screw it up, is to not try at all.
Yep.
As long as you're trying, you can't screw it up.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. His concepts and the way he does things and the way he thinks, it's all in alignment with what we do here. That's a great point there. For sure. Great episode.
You must suffer. The path to better health is pain.
Right. By the diet guides. Suffering is not optional.
Yeah, no, it's just like, why?
Right.
Why? It's wrong on so many levels, but this is how we're conditioned to believe. This is what we're conditioned to think. Or when we do the things that we fundamentally enjoy, why is it that we feel bad about them? right? And like for me, like life isn't always going to be easy, but it doesn't mean that the things that you enjoy and the things that make you feel good should no longer be tolerated, or that you should live in guilt and shame, because that is the problem. That is the problem. The whole idea is that like we do these things that are actually good for us, even if they might not always be healthy. And we catastrophize and we think that we have done something wrong. So we then punish ourselves, or we starve ourselves, or we restrict ourselves, or we just figure that we're going to blow it anyway. So why even try?
Okay, so should I go with my first one?
Yeah.
All right, guess what mine is? It's episode number 50, which is the Mount Katahdin special.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
For many reasons. First, I think I really enjoyed that episode so much just because of the camaraderie and the friendships that we had in the room with us, and the fucking hard, amazing experience that we had all just gone through the day before. And so the energy was still very, very alive, and you could really feel it in the air. Well, we had, 6 of us, I think, right, in that room recording an episode, which is the first time we've ever done something like that. Yeah. And just because we were, recapping the previous day's events, how hard everything was, and then of course the accidents that happened there with me falling and then you falling, and how we persevered through that. I just think it was a really good episode for personal reasons.
The kitchen table full of snacks.
And we traded.
We're trading Pop-Tarts. We're trading Cliff Bars and protein bars and candy.
My favorite trade. That cinnamon Pop-Tart. Not your lemon cake bullshit.
Oh, come on. You didn't even try the lemon cake.
Didn't need to. No, two big wins for this one. One is the dill pickles in the bag. You not only get the dill pickles, but then you get the pickle juice after. That was a game changer. And then the mixed candy bags. Nerds rope. That was okay. Yeah,
How dare you?
I'll give you credit for that.
That was a big hit. Nerds rope. You love the Nerds rope?
Yeah.
Did you try the Nerds rope?
I had some of them. That was good. That was good.
Nerds rope.
Good sugar source.
Dill pickle chips.
Yeah, you had Sour Patches and another candy. Swedish fish.
They got pickles too, which they told me I should have gotten. And I was like, no, I don't need them. But I ended up eating everyone else's pickles.
I brought a jar of olives, so we shared that at the peak. I was drinking the juice out of the olives to get some salt in me.
Needed the sodium.
Yeah, it helped though.
Hunter's new pre-workout is pickle juice now.
Yeah, it is.
I agree. That was a good one for sure.
All right. What is your number 2?
Number 2, I had Paul Salter.
Nice. I have Paul Salter on mine as well, so we share that.
Awesome. Everything about maintenance. I don't know. It was a very educational episode, I believe. Probably the number 1 educational. I don't know. It's just the foundation everyone should be striving for.
It's literally a clinic for weight loss and weight loss maintenance. That's what Paul says all the time because Paul was a fantastic fucking guest. Like, he really did a great job. And he does a great job still talking about it. Like, you guys, we gave you the blueprint out here. Go listen to this episode.
Underneath every single goal that we set, scale goal, this size clothing, whatever it may be, it's just a collection of feelings. Meaning, if we can get really clear on how we want to feel, confident, strong, energetic, in control, sexy, healthy, whatever it may be, that actually helps us to appropriately align the most effective action steps. But the real challenge that we often hide or run away from is, we are emotional beings at our core, and we experience a huge spectrum of emotions on a daily basis, which influence how we speak to ourselves, how we behave. And ultimately, if we can begin to master our energy, master our emotions, the nutritional X's and O's fall into place. They become easy second nature operating in the background.
And that's really where people fall short, right? Is the weight loss maintenance piece. Everybody knows how to lose weight. But most people are gaining that weight back repeatedly, 5, 6 times a year, perhaps even for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, because they don't know how to maintain, because they're still doing these diets and restrictions and things like that, which of course don't teach you maintenance. They teach you to rely on their diets and their restrictions and their rules. I agree. That's one of my favorites as well. Well done, Beth. All right. My next one is Everything Fat Loss with Ben Carpenter.
All right. There we go.
I was really excited for getting Ben on, first and foremost, because I've been following him for so long on social media, even before I got into coaching myself. So that was a really cool moment for me and for us.
Yeah.
Because I know you you followed him and looked up to him and everything too, and saw him in that role. So I just really loved how simplified we kind of made fat loss and just broke down all those misconceptions about fat loss and things like that. And of course, with his book, which does an incredible job of expanding on everything we talked about in that episode.
I love that too. I love that episode. I don't know. It wasn't on my top, but only maybe because I was nervous.
It's hard to pick up. I mean, only 5 favorites.
I mean, I'm like, shit. Yeah, it is hard.
What works in the short term won't necessarily work in the long term. So lots of people are getting lured in by intermittent fasting stacked with keto because someone is selling the idea of losing 15 pounds in 2 weeks or something like that, which I've actually seen recently. And they're getting lured in with that short-term promise. But not many people stop and think, well, hang on, do I want to go on a diet that tells me how much weight I will lose in 2 weeks? What happens 12 months from now? What happens 24 months from now? So coaches like myself and yourselves, you know that coaching people over the long term is important. Stop jumping onto overly restrictive diets, realizing that you hate your life, and then stopping, going back to what you were doing before, regaining weight, and then repeating that cycle. It's the equivalent of starting a New Year's resolution every January. Whereas what we're saying is stop doing things that are super restrictive that you can only maintain in the short term and focus on what you can do in the long term rather than going on and off this kind of ideological diet bandwagon.
But yeah, no, that was a good one. I loved hearing about his story too with Crohn's because someone is shredded on the internet. You just don't know what's going on the other side.
Yeah. Just because they look healthy doesn't mean they're healthy.
Right. Like it's hard for him to gain weight. And that because Crohn's
people
disease.
are probably like, oh, really? Like he's going to complain about
he's always so shredded. It's like, well, he also, I think he was talking about how he couldn't strength train the way he wanted to either.
He got so weak at one point because of the sickness. So that's not a good thing that it's hard for him to gain weight. It's literally he was in the hospital because he wasn't able to eat and put on weight. Absolutely. All right, let's hear your next one.
Abby Langer.
Abby Langer. Yeah.
My favorite. I have looked up to her for a very long time. And I think she really is like the GOAT dietitian.
Yeah, I agree. She's probably one of the longest I've been following like a registered dietitian, I think.
Yes, same. And she's no bullshit, doesn't fuck around.
Yeah.
And I just love that. I love that. Yeah.
It's a mockery of basic physiology, a mockery. Your body regulates its pH so tightly. If you have issues with metabolic acidosis, you're in the ICU. Water cannot change the pH of your body or your blood. It just doesn't happen. Your lungs, your kidneys, they are the ones that tightly regulate the pH. So no matter what you eat or what you drink, you would die from eating an orange, like if you had issues. So none of that works. It's a waste of money.
She came on here guns blazing, like, I don't fucking care. I've got lawyers ready to go if somebody wants to come after me, Like, yes, that is the energy we need.
Yes. So she was a fave.
And we debunked a lot of nutrition fads and myths out there too, which was really good, helping people to cut through all the bullshit that's out there. She's been on fire lately with her content. She's really going after a lot of the shady influencers and bullshit products out there.
We're done.
We're done.
It's been too long, man. Like people are like, oh, I'm glad you're going after Bobby and da-da-da. And it's like, well, no, actually I've been doing this.
We've been doing this for years.
Since he's been on that. It's just now you're fucking paying attention. Okay. Yeah. We've always been talking about.
I'm sure in 2020 when we first started making videos, I'm sure we were talking shit about him back then.
Oh, we were. I remember when he made this rotisserie chicken video and he was going around Costco fucking saying, I made a video.
I remember that bullshit. Yeah.
And my video got actually taken down for that.
Of course, we always get taken down for bullying and harassment, but not the guy that's literally giving people eating disorders and body dysmorphia.
This has been going on for a while. It's nothing new. We've always been going after Flav City. You guys are just paying attention now, which is great.
Yeah.
But it's nothing new.
It's nothing new.
Nothing new.
I think bigger influencers, though, are not catching on to him. I just think bigger creators and influencers, and I shouldn't say bigger because we have a big following too, but people with bigger followings than us have finally started to call him out, I think, which is why people are starting to pay attention.
the people that don't usually call out people are the people that are calling him out now.
Exactly.
We've always been calling out people.
Yeah, we've always been.
Me and Matt just do that because we don't give a fuck. But now other creators, they've had it.
Not give a fuck. There's a paradigm shift in health and fitness. You got the people who don't give a fuck that are uncensored and gonna call it as it is, and then there's still the grifters and the con artists that are ignoring us and blocking us left and right before we even know that they exist. There's probably like a universal block list that these guys share.
Oh,
everybody on this account, just the day one you create your account, go block these 1,000 counts right here.
I am so surprised that I'm not blocked by Jeremy or Paul
Coach
Sully
Jeremy
yet.
Yeah, I think that's probably because they're not actually running their accounts. Like it's an intern. Big people like that, they don't do shit. They're not in there messaging people. They're not in the comments. They're not doing any of that shit themselves. They pay people thousands of dollars to do that stuff, those videos and everything for them. They're literally a fucking mascot. That's a big business behind that stuff. All right. My next episode, Alan Aragon, flexible dieting is fuck.
I had that too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yes.
I think this is one of my favorite episodes because, again, Alan was somebody that I respect greatly and have been looking up to for probably a decade, going back to the days in bodybuilding.com forums. He was the voice back then. But not only that, but we also released that episode right on our 1-year anniversary, which was really a milestone for us because it was so cool for us to celebrate our 1-year anniversary of the podcast with such an influential person in the nutrition and fitness space. With flexible dieting, I hopefully we introduced that concept to some new people and help them change their way of thinking about food and fat loss and dieting.
Insulin resistance and protein,
Yeah.
The amount of protein we can digest, absorb, use for various bodily processes, vast majority of the protein that we ingest, it does not matter what the size of the meal is. The body will use the vast majority, over 90, some throw around numbers like 95% of the protein that we ingest will get used for some sort of metabolic process.
Okay.
And also depending on homeostatic demands, some of it will get oxidized for energy, but none of it just, in quotes, goes to waste.
It just excreted, like a lot of people say, you're just pooping it out or whatever.
No. That's the misconception. This is a gnarly misconception. Over 90% of it gets either used or oxidized in the mix of fuels.
We covered some good ones. What causes insulin resistance, right?
Yeah. Those were our biggest reels with him.
They were our biggest reels for sure.
For sure. Because
we have a few more to post yet, perhaps. We'll have to
do we?
We might. We're bad at posting. We're not bad. We're not bad.
I missed this morning, my post.
Okay. I think I missed yesterday anyway, so it's okay. But
you haven't been getting your evening posts, but that's fine.
No. Beth and I, we're figuring it out, guys. What we said, we don't know what we're doing.
We're doing the best we can. Okay, that's what this is about.
We're doing most of it ourselves. We can't say all of it. Like we got to shout out Iris, of course, and David for helping us with our video content for sure.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. We appreciate you. Your videos are fucking amazing, by the way.
They are.
All right, so Alan Aragon.
Yeah, that's mine.
All right.
Well, we shared that one.
So I have one more, and then I have like I guess it would be like a honorable mention. I don't know.
Yeah, same. I've got one more.
It is?
I'm calling it a bonus. One more plus a bonus.
Menopause diet plan, ladies. We love them so much. We had them on twice. Right. I don't know, maybe because I'm going through menopause, but they're just so fun. And I learned a lot from their episodes.
Yes.
If you deprive yourself, eventually your primitive cave girl brain is going to win out. And you're probably going to reactively overeat more than you need just because your brain is ticked off and deprived. So if we kind of lean into it and say, let me just get some good balance going, starting in the morning, include the right, healthy kinds of carbohydrates, eat enough protein, like stay ahead of your hunger, because we have this super unrealistic expectation around things like willpower, which never favored human survival ever.
No.
We have a lot of smart people here in the Boston area. And I always tell them, just because you're really smart doesn't mean you can trick your primitive cave girl brain that's like several million years old. Not like what you're doing.
Have you ever wanted to start a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily and then distribute it everywhere and even earn money doing what you love. All in one place for free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit episodes right from your phone or computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard. Now, what's really cool is video podcasts are also now available on Spotify. And if you want to be taken seriously on social media, you need to have a video presence. And what better way to do that by connecting with people via your video episodes? With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, it's all totally free with no catch whatsoever. And ever since we discovered Spotify for Podcasters here on Cut the Crap with Beth and Matt, we are easily releasing new episodes and distributing them to multiple platforms, and it's never been easier. We highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started.
That is a great episode. It didn't make my list. I thought it might make yours, which is kind of why I didn't pick it. But first and foremost, the first one we did with them has been our best episode ever, which was really like, wow.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. But also the amount of feedback that we've gotten and how it's helped so many women. That is why, that is why I know that is such a great episode. And I can understand why it's our best episode, because there's so much bullshit out there. Women going through menopause, it's literally dieting companies see cash signs, right? Dollar signs.
Money. Your transition is people's money. For sure.
Yeah, that was a great episode. Both of those episodes.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll even do something else with them in the future. Never know. Awesome. So my number 5 is with Dr. Joshua Smith. Don't forget to charge your fucking batteries.
Yes.
I loved the analogies that he threw at us. I'm frequently thinking to myself about my battery levels and my energy levels. And is this going to be taking away from my energy? Is this going to be giving me energy? And I know a lot of people have resonated with that as well.
Yeah.
Especially walking the dog and dealing with chronic pain. We haven't really talked about like chronic pain and things like that much. So that's really what he kind of specializes in as well. So.
Whether it's exercise and fitness and when they're supposed to go to the gym, put that on your calendar. Because very often we just leave that as negative space. So people put things on their calendar that are have-tos, things I wouldn't remember. But if you carve out time for exercise, self-care, alone time, whatever it is, if you prioritize that, but if you don't put it on your calendar and you're like, hey, Saturday morning is the only time I'm going to have 2-3 hours to really focus. Well, if you don't block it out and somebody says, hey, can you drive me to the airport? You look at your calendar, it's empty. And it's hard to remind yourself, wait a second, I reserved that. So I have people make sure to put that on there, because now if you say yes to that, it physically pushes your thing aside. It minimizes it, or you have to delete it, or you have to move it. And if there's nowhere to put it, it gives you a reminder and buys you time to be able to say, you know what, I'm blocked Saturday morning, but why? What's up? Let me check and see. And then it just gives you a little bit of time to remind you that, that's a priority.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Agree.
Awesome. All right, let's hear your bonus episode.
Erica,
that's my bonus episode too. Erica.
Shut up. Oh my God.
Erica Marvin doing the thing.
That you guys like Erica, and I think there was a lot of you guys that really liked her episode too. They said they wanted her back on. I heard a lot of other people.
We'll do let's throw this out there. I think we may have already talked to her. We'll do like a 1-year post podcast appearance to see where she's at and catch up with her, which Erica is also in our Cut the Crap Facebook group community, by the way, as a moderator. So come chat with her.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people tell me, oh, you'll only lose weight if you go keto, or you have to cut out dairy, or you have to cut out carbs, or you have to cut out sugar altogether. And I eat dairy every day. I eat carbs every day. I eat gluten every day. Every day this week, I've had a sandwich for lunch.
Everything diets tell you can't eat.
Right. This is super important for people to understand, is that the internet makes you feel like because you have something like PCOS or hyperthyroidism that you're absolutely fucked and you can't lose weight and you must do something fucking extreme, which is absolute trash advice. And this, literally makes people feel like they're fucking helpless. And here you are that actually has PCOS. You are doing the thing and getting the results because you are being fucking consistent. And I think it's important for people to understand that.
the doctor that diagnosed me with PCOS, and when I was 310, he was like, oh, you're a lost cause. You're always going to be obese because of your PCOS. And now I kind of want to just go schedule an appointment with him. Just
right?
Middle finger.
She's still crushing it, man. I think she just signed up for a race or something. I don't know. I gotta check and see what she's up to. But yeah.
So why do we love that episode so much? Why do we include this as a bonus episode?
Because she took what we talk about and applied it.
Yes.
And just has been crushing it been consistent for over a year. I think she's lost over 100 pounds now.
I think she's over 100 pounds now. I believe when she was on the show with us, it was 90, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, she's crushing it. You're right. That's why I love it too, because she's taking the uncomplicated approach that we talk about all the time. She applied it and she's getting great fucking life-changing results and literally changing her life as a result of that.
Pretty cool to hear someone from the general population that took our advice from what we set out to do, right? This is what we love and why we are here.
Yep.
And she has lost 100 pounds from taking our advice. And that is fucking cool as hell.
And she's getting strong as fuck because I'm always watching her reels of her lifting and stuff. She's getting
strength training. She's walking. She's fucking crushing it.
She really is. So Erica, we're fucking proud of you.
Yes.
Good job.
Amazing.
Okay. So that's our top 5 plus our bonus episode. We were also thinking about doing the same segment, but from our listeners' perspective, right? So just last week we put up a poll on our stories asking for everybody's top 5, or not top 5 episodes, but their favorite episodes is what we did and why. So we're going to do an episode as well here, because like I said, we're celebrating the entire month of August.
Right.
So we want to get the community involved as much as possible. So we want to know from our community, what has been your favorite episode of Cut the Crap with Beth and Matt, and why? You don't have to limit it to 1. You can 2, 3, whatever maybe you have 5A, 5B, 6, whatever. It doesn't matter. Maybe it's all 100,
Right.
But whatever it is, we want to know. So you can email us or DM us on our Cut the Crap podcast Instagram would probably be the best way for that. We try to keep the podcast related DMs to our podcast if possible. But if you want to send them to our fitness, Matt Larfit and Beth Frocco fitness pages, that's okay too.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about your guys' favorite episodes here in a future episode as well. Yeah. And that's what it's all about. Like, this is why we did the podcast, right? To help more people, to make fitness for everybody, to build a fucking strong community. And that's really what we're most proud of, I would have to say, is the community that we've built. And also like this little hiking community that we're building. I'm really excited for the amount of people that are showing interest in hiking, getting started with hiking, or that are already involved with hiking and are finding our content now. Hiking is going to continue to be a big part of what we do here in the podcast and with our own personal lives. So if you're interested in that, reach out to us. We would love to chat with you about hiking. Come join the Facebook group. It's not, of course, about just hiking, but yeah, super exciting.
Super exciting.
Hiking is life-changing, honestly.
One of my favorite things to do.
Yes.
For sure.
All right. Well, that's all of that. That's everything we wanted to talk about today. I think other than I wanted to ask you how your experience has been going with the Cured Nutrition folks, how with the supplements that we've been using for them for a few months now.
Oh yeah. So I use the Cured gummies before I go to bed, sometimes and maybe in the afternoon. And then I use their sleep routine, the drops.
The oil?
Yes.
Yeah, the CBD and CBN.
It's been really helping with waking up in the middle of the night and menopause symptoms, that aspect of it. So, and I believe the menopause diet plan ladies in the last episode we did, they said the benefits of actually CBD for menopause. So it's actually does really fucking help me.
Yeah, they definitely did talk about that a little bit. And that's why I loved to hear that too, because we don't want to do anything that's not evidence-based and we won't promote products that aren't actually helpful for people. So
exactly.
Yeah. And I've been really enjoying the Serenity gummies too. I take them probably 3 to 4 times a week. I usually take them on days when I'm going to be having a crazy call schedule, a lot of meetings and things like that, just to help me stay grounded and in a good headspace. And it's really beneficial for that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, guys, if you want to check out our sponsor, we are excited about continuing our working collaboration with Cured Nutrition for the next few months.
What is our code?
our code, curenutrition.com/CTC, or you can go to Cure Nutrition and just enter coupon code CTC, and they get 20% off of any of the products on there. You can check out the sleep bundle if you're looking to maybe improve your sleep, or the Serenity gummies, which are my personal favorite, if you're looking for some CBD oil with a little bit of a microdose in there to help you out as well. I also know too that we've had some listeners reach out to us asking for our opinion, like our honest to God opinion about these products. And we've given them our opinion, and they've went and bought these products themselves. And then a few weeks later, they'll follow up with us, be like, oh my God, like, yes, this is actually working. And this feels great. Which flavor would you recommend I try next, type thing, you know? Mm-hmm. So let us know if you have tried the products, because we want to make sure that you guys are enjoying them. So yeah, it's 20% off using the coupon code CTC.
Mm-hmm. Cut the crap.
Cut the crap. I think that's a wrap, yeah?
That's a wrap.
That's a fucking wrap. Beth, congratulations on 100 episodes. Let's go.
100 episodes. Woo! Cheers.
Cheers. And then 2-year anniversary coming right around the corner, everybody. Stay tuned.
That's right.
Let's have an amazing fucking month of August. Let's finish this summer strong.
Yeah.
Oh, really quickly. What about your 5K a day? We haven't talked about that, I don't think, have we?
Yeah, I guess not. No, I mean, I meant to in the podcast. I can't believe I haven't. But every August, I believe this is the 5th or 6th year. I haven't counted, but it hasn't been the 8 years I've been sober, which is August 21st, 2015. I quit drinking. And about 5 years ago, I decided to do a 5K a day the entire month of August to celebrate my sobriety and walk, run, or hike or bike for those that can't, because there's a lot of people that have lost their lives due to addiction. And I know a lot of people either struggle with addiction still or know someone that does struggle with addiction. So it's just to raise awareness. And it's just something that I do that I ask everyone if they want to do as well. So 5K a day, the entire month of August, walk, run, bike, or hike. 3.1 miles a day. And you don't have to do it all at once. There's no rules. Like, I've been getting a lot of messages like, where do I put the hashtag? When do I start? Can I split it up? It's like, this is just something to do. And you can decide to do it or not. There are no rules. For me, I'm going to do it every single day, the entire month of August. I'm going to do 3.1 miles a day. I may split it up some days, depending. Like today, I did 1.5 miles this morning, and I'm going to have to do 1.5 miles this afternoon, because I just have to split it up. My life is crazy now. I can't do, like when I first started this, I was able to do 3.1 miles straight every single day. And I think I even ran every time. But now, I have a business. There's so much more going on. So make it work for you. Don't make it work against you. It's supposed to be something that's fun. And yes, it's going to be challenging to get every single day, but that's the point.
That's the point.
Do it for the people that can't, or do it for someone that that can't.
There you go. 5K a day, guys. Let's do it.
3.1 miles. It's not 5,000, or what did someone say? It was like 5,000 miles or something. I'm like, no, it's 3.1 miles.
Because of the K?
Which
the 5K?
Is, yeah. And I'm like, So 3.1 miles, which is pretty doable. It's about 7,000 steps, to be honest.
Yeah, it's totally doable. Totally doable, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. There we go. Congratulations, Beth, on 100 episodes.
Thanks. Congrats. Woo!
Hope you enjoyed this episode, so why not share with a friend who needs to hear it? Send us a DM on Instagram or email us at cutthecrappod@gmail.com and join our Patreon at patreon.com/cutthecrappodcast. As always, we appreciate you and thanks for being here.